Welcome to office hour number 6, the last of our office hours. I'm here with UN because Bill Kirby is traveling today, and we wanted to have our office hours sort of concluding the first mini course, but specifically concluding this discussion of the 100 schools during the Warring States period. And let me begin with some announcements. Lots of emails this week, as usual, from London, Hong Kong, South Africa, PhD students specialized in China in one case. By the way, some of you have asked about assessment number 19. That's actually sort of like a very short but fun final exam, and that will come, I think we'll have that in an announcement. What does it say? Be released this Thursday. So look for that. Some of you have asked whether you can redo specific assessments. And as long as there is no technical problem that would force that, unfortunately we cannot do that. If there's a technical problem, then edX can rerun it, and we can do that, but otherwise we can't because it creates all sorts of unfairness. So our apologies, but yeah, well, what can I say? Finally, under announcements, a number of you wrote to us about Professor Pewett's lecture, and there was uniform enthusiasm for his lecture. He is a wonderful lecturer, and as well as an old friend of ours. So we will, in fact, in future versions of ChinaX, we will be including more from Professor Pewitt, to be sure, and he's very interested in doing that. Now, I think that, and yes, and of course we want to include more professors from Harvard. There are around 20 people at Harvard who work on China, and eventually all of them will be appearing in ChinaX, and some of them will actually have 2 or 3 discussions or lectures and modules of their own. Now, we had a discussion forum, and the discussion forum, remember the question. I'll read it to you just so that we're all on the same page here. You have now heard about some of the principal thinkers of the Warring States period and read from some of their most influential writings. In this final part of the first ChinaX mini-course, we want you to think about the different intellectual positions that emerged from the time of Confucius through the 100 schools. Suppose you had the power to rebuild society after it was destroyed. Which thinker among the Confucians or the 100 schools masters would you rely on in your effort to rebuild society, and why? So at this point, I'm going to turn to Yuan and say, did we have a predominant answer to this question?
I think so.
Oh.
I think we have a great number of students chose Han Fei
Really?
as their
Han Fei, the legalist.
The legalist.
All about laws.
All about laws.
Mm.
I think the reasons are such. So first, Han Fei's philosophy offers the society or the state a very important tool, which is law. And law gives rewards and punishment, and would be the most effective method to save a society from chaos and to start rebuilding itself. Also, considering that a society after it's destroyed must be a society where it's hard to find a shared value among many groups of people. So also Han Fei's philosophy doesn't presume that a society needs a shared values to start. What do you think?
Well, I can't say that I'm entirely happy with the way everybody answered it. I can understand why they would, but I think one of the things we're going to see in the next mini course, just what happens when you try to build a political system only on the basis of laws.
Yes.
And at least one of our writers, more than one actually, pointed out that laws alone would not be enough, right?
Yes.
Now.
But I feel that at least based on my understanding of you, and I think compared to many of the students here, or many of the ChinaXers, that you are more sympathetic to Confucianism than anyone else.
It's certainly true. It's certainly true that I am.
Can you give us some reasons or just
Well,
some
I mean,
explanations?
I can. I think that part of it is that I find myself wanting both Mencius and Shunzi. Mencius as the person who has a heart and who thinks in terms of how we feel and how we respond to the world around us. And Shunzi as somebody who has a mind, who has an intellect, and who is thinking about the past and what we can learn from it, and why ritual, for example, is necessary in society and so on. So there's that. I also think that Confucians tend to recognize that things like government and the economy and family, that these things are here with us, and we're not going to make them go away. We have to deal with them. And so they're not. I find everyone else a little bit more one-sided. But
yeah, I think I agree with you, because if we look at Mencius and Shunzi's writings, we can see that both of them are trying to reach a balance between state building or how to build a harmonious society on one hand, and how to make sure that each individual share a very important part of human life, that is culture, beliefs, and feelings, and education.
Education, I think, is very. Of course, that's what we're doing here is education. So we're instinctively inclined, I think, to this. You know, one of our ChinaXers said that they liked, for education, they liked Lao Tzu and Zhuangzi.
Yes.
Why? Because Lao Tzu is sort of keep the people dumb sort of view sometimes.
Yes, I think they're not looking at the particular aspect of the content that Lao Tzu mentioned, but they think that both Zhuangzi and Lao Tzu are more thought-provoking. This is from the comment of how to pronounce it?
Jonah 32.
Jonah 32.
Yeah, no, I think that, and I'm willing to grant that. I think Zhuangzi in particular is thought-provoking and unexpected, right? Were there people who went beyond finding a single thinker?
Yeah, I do think so, and it's very interesting that many students actually thinks that all of those philosophers, their ideas can come together, especially come into state building or society, social building at different stages. So once we have Han-Fei's idea, or once we use the Han-Fei's ideas of law to rebuild the society from chaos, and then we should apply Confucius' ideas about education, about creating a shared culture, belief,
putting rituals into place,
into place, and then at the end should apply Zhuangzi and Lao Tzu's idea, because they allowed each individual in the society to develop themselves freely.
And to sort of create the creativity of the individual.
Exactly.
I
this is from students.
Colin 11.
There
were so many. We've mentioned a few people by name, but actually we have so many responses by so many people, and some of you we've seen before and have written very thoughtfully before, and some of you are the first time that I'm getting a chance really to read your comments. So we haven't cited you all by name, but this was an extensive discussion, and we really enjoyed reading through it. We spent this morning actually going through comments and trying to understand better the sorts of things you were saying. I think that's our office hours for today.
One thing
left.
Happy birthday, Professor Bo.
Oh, okay, yes, it is my birthday. And so, although at my age, every birthday is not necessarily a happy occasion. When
your students
we want them to slow them down. Okay, thanks a lot.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. 祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，Happy birthday.
She can sing.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday
Yeah.
Happy birthday, dear Professor.
Happy birthday to you.
Thanks a lot. There we go. Okay.
I think
Goodbye.
I filmed.